Alrighty, almost got done that time. Still getting used to putting in all these plugs. There we go. Alrighty, so it's Ramsey time, 4 p.m. I let Mr. Ramsey and company do it on the weekdays, but I do it on the weekends. So let's get going. That song was a radio water park ad, and that is by Freedom Trail Studio. That is part of the free YouTube songs that you can use and not get flagged for. How about that? Free music. I'll get my plugs here. They're in the chat and also in the video description below as well. I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach, and you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That's a video conferencing appointment, so you can do that from anywhere in the whole wide world. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel at coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Channel donations, you can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. Also, Cash App, $ Coach Steve Money, or Walmart gift card to CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Right there. And you can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Of course, the YouTube channel is youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. Let's see. Also on the after show last week, I announced earlier this week, I announced 3,000 watched hours in the past year, and that enables me to have additional for donations. The supers are available for super chat or stickers, and those are available now, and that is very cool. Don't get paid for views yet. That comes at 4,000 hours, but I will get there. Don't you worry. And even if I don't, I'll still be doing this, so you can't get rid of me that easily. All right. Oh, goodness. Oh, I still didn't get a clamp for my chair. All right. we all done with that? Yep, we're all done with that. Okay, I have to be the producer as well. Alrighty, so this is my website, web page, excuse me, on YouTube. This is my channel page, and just search for Coach Steve Money. And there's a bunch of Oak Island stuff on here. If you're a fan of that or interested in that, definitely check that out. This show, answering your financial questions, and you can check those out. Right below that is my music playlist, and that has 8 Ramsey adjacent songs that you can listen to, and of course 365 editions of the Ramsey Show After Show. Used to be able to do that every day, every weekday after the Ramsey Show video was over. I would do an after show almost every single weekday, and so I can't do that now, and that's why I'm doing this during the weekends, because I can only do 1 to 3 at most after shows a month, just because of my different job. Okay, so enough of that. Let's go to the baby steps, and this is the what do you call this? The foundation, the cornerstone, the essence of the Ramsey plan, and that's the 7 baby steps. So I'll go over it very quickly, or try to anyway. Step 1, 2, and 3, you do in order, one at a time. So you don't skip around. Don't do that. One at a time in order. So step 1, you save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. Step 2, you pay off all debt except the house using debt snowball. Step 3, you save 36 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. And step 4, 5, and 6, you do in order all at the same time. So the same money, your snowball, extra money that you have left over every month, you would then be putting that into 15% of your gross household income into retirement. And then a little bit for kids' college, depending on how old they are. If they're very young, you only need to do a little bit per month. As they get older, you might want to increase that. And step 6, you pay off the house early. And you don't pay off you do pay off the house early. You do not invest more than 15% until that house is paid off early. And then when you're in step 7, then you can invest however you want, however much you want, because you have that whole mortgage payment available to invest. Alrighty. So we go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey, and I go in reverse order. Because that way I don't run out of questions ever. Like if I start doing a lot more shows, then I might run out of questions. Like I'm doing Saturday, Sunday this weekend, and also Monday is a holiday. So there'll be an after show after the Ramsey Show video on Monday. And so just want to make sure I have enough questions, and so that's why I'm going backwards currently. I might eventually switch back to doing it in numerical order from the beginning. All right, so let's see. Let's pull up the baby steps right here as well. Again, this is reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. And this is run by fans, not Ramsey Solutions. If you want a group run by Ramsey Solutions, that would be on Facebook. And it's called the Ramsey Baby Steps Community. Alrighty, so from It Doesn't Even Matter, 21, should we get a dog or wait? All right, so let's see, where are we? Newlyweds, barely 2 months into marriage, and we're working on step 2. Okay, so you're on step 2, so you still have debt and such. Now, the problem is you don't know what the dog is going to cost. If you get the dog and all of a sudden it needs surgery, then that's going to get very expensive. So I mean, this is a personal decision, but me personally, I would wait. And granted, I don't have a dog now, so I'm less desiring of one probably than these people are. But I mean, that's what you can decide for yourself, basically. When it comes to children, Dave says you don't. The baby steps are not involved in that. as far as family planning. But adding a dog to it, which could be, some people get a dog and they spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a year on them. And so that's money you need to be paying your debt off with. So get your life in order before you bring a dog into it. It would be my advice. I don't know. Dave has lots of dogs, so I don't know what his advice would be on that specifically, but that's my advice on that. AT Metal mutual funds give better returns. Well, let's see. Probably. Let's see. Watch the video. Which caller already had millions? Asking for advice on how to set him up for retirement. Okay. Dave suggests to invest it in a good growth stock mutual fund. That's right. Get 10 to 12% returns and live off only the returns, leaving the principal untouched. And that's the plan. Didn't think much about it because it sounded like a tailored suggestion to someone at the end of their career. No, 12% is great. So if you can get 10 to 12%, and that's what the S&P 500 index fund has gotten, and so that's what you would want to do. And so, and managed funds can beat that. For example, let's talk about it for just a second, and I'll be putting out a full video on this that shows the stats. But the Nasdaq has beaten the S&P 500 all but 3 times out of the last 15 years. So you might want to consider throwing a little bit to the Nasdaq index, you S&P 500 only index people, because you're leaving money on the table that way. And also, my large cap managed fund makes more than the Nasdaq index. And so, yes, they can. Not all of them will. But again, with the title here, this person is making a common mistake of saying, should I do index or mutual funds? Well, an index fund is still a mutual fund. An index fund is a type, a managed fund is a type of mutual fund. So, but that's the dealio on that. But, you know, why should you leave money on the table and just do an S&P 500 index fund when there are mutual funds, managed mutual funds that beat the index? And so that's what you should try to get. Alrighty, material additional 53, paying down the mortgage. Make sure I'm loud enough here. Bring it a little closer, I guess. All right. Okay. Got my crinkly water bottle. Little ASMR for you guys. Can't even say it. Paying down the mortgage. I'm beginning to put 15% of my pay into investments and paying down the mortgage. Excellent. I'm moving my 3 months emergency fund to a high yield savings account. That's fine if you got to have immediate access to it for your high. So when you look at for high yield savings accounts for emergency fund, you read all the fine print. You got to have either check writing or debit card privileges for that account. Let's see, if I just put the 3 months away, I have roughly $2K left over. Okay. Where's the 2K from? It doesn't say where the 2K comes from. All right, before I started this journey, my furnace needed to be replaced, so I opted for a 30-year fixed. It was 8K for the furnace, and so I made minimal payments, would end up paying around 1.5K in interest. Now, do I treat the furnace as debt? Oh, I talked about this one the other day. They sometimes, when you resort, it sometimes switches the, it sometimes switches the order of these. So I did talk about this on the after show on last Tuesday. For Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras. So I did talk about this. It's not part of a debt if it was cash out from the house, from the mortgage. then it's not a different debt, it's just your mortgage payment. So I would not count that as separate. Let's see. Nuovo, Ramsey, Babino. Do people stall out at baby step 4? They stall out at all kinds of different steps. This is happening to others. I can understand getting through baby step 1, 2, through 3. As there's a finite points. Yeah, they do. And then you don't on step 4, because step 4 never ends. Even in retirement, if you don't need the money to live on that you have coming in, you can still invest that, even though it's not in a retirement account at that point. It'd just be in a brokerage where you would be paying tax on it on both ends, but that's still growth and better than a savings account. So you would still do that unless you needed the money to live on in retirement. Baby step 4 seems no fine. I think once you get to baby step 4, you're done with the difficult ones, pretty much. The other ones, like, you don't have any debt, so it's much easier to do step 3B, which is save for a down payment. 4 is investing, and save for kids' college and pay off the mortgage early. And so all that's easier to do when you don't have any consumer debt payments. Mortgage pre-approval through realtor. They can, like, do that for you. I'm trying to remember if we got that or not. I don't recall. When my ex-wife and I bought a house, I don't remember if we did that or not. See, wife and I recently pre-approved for mortgage through Churchill. Okay, great. Now that we have that, we have reached out to a local realtor, reputable, well-known in our area. She told us to talk to her finance person about getting pre-approved. We told her we already pre-approved, but she wanted us to talk to him anyway, so we did and just told them the same thing. The overall message was that it's easier for them to work with their finance officer, even though we don't have to. Yeah. So they can, yeah. So I mean, that's just the realtor trying to keep her relationship with her finance person alive, and probably kickbacks both ways on that. If she brings them the mortgage, then that's a kickback to the realtor. If the finance person brings the person looking for a house to the realtor, then the realtor gives a kickback to the finance person. So they're just trying to do that. So again, I mean, you started with Churchill, I would keep going with Churchill. Yeah. And especially if you do not have a credit score, or it's dwindling because you've done the other baby steps, such as pay off debt. That one particularly, if you quit interacting with debt, it will start going down. And so if you got manual underwriting through Churchill, I would just go with that. So that's the deal. But that's why, in case you didn't figure that out already, that's why they want you to work with that particular person. And I mean, because they know them as well, maybe they would have less trouble getting through to that person rather than the person at the rep at Churchill Mortgage, perhaps as well. That could be, she may have this person's direct cell phone line, and whereas you might not have the direct cell phone line of the person at Churchill Mortgage. So that is why. Specialist _walk _ 6819. Student loan versus personal loan. Well, if it's about paying them off, you do that smallest to largest using the debt snowball method. That is smallest amount to largest amount. This interest rate here matters not. If a student loan that is $14K at interest rate, which doesn't matter. This is not all my student loan debt, just my highest interest student loan. Okay. I have 3 credit cards in my bank, 0 balances. They have a program where I can use my available credit and take a cash deposit into my account for a 3% fee. See, that's how they get you. They make you think you're doing something, but they're charging you for it to do it. Don't move money around for a fee. Just pay it off. The terms for this money are 0% interest for 15 months. Doesn't matter. You're still just moving around, and that makes you think you've done something. And so you take your foot off the gas. So that's why that's not recommended at all. And what if that goes into 16 months? You can't pay it before 16 months. Because you don't, some happens, you can't pay it off in that time. Then guess what? It's going to be 26% interest or something crazy like that. Does it make sense to take the cash deposit? Nope. And pay it off. And, I'm sure you're going to say, just like all the credit card people say, well, I pay it off every month, and so I don't pay any interest, and then I get the rewards. Well, sure. But you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So did everyone else say that about credit cards that ended up going, not paying it off every month, and then they had interest on it. View spoiler. Just starting with baby step 1. Should I sell my car? Depends on I wonder what this is. I'll click it. Why not? Why not? Let's see what happens. Yeah, so I don't know why you put the spoiler thing on there. Maybe that's an option to hide the content of the question. I've been watching Dave for other 2 weeks, over 2 weeks maybe, to learn his method of paying debt. Right, you pay it off. You don't buy anything else. You don't spend money on anything else. Pay off debt. I joined FPU, and did my first budget. All right, interesting English. In every dollar. I have a clear idea of the plan. It's easy to understand, but I'm not sure what to do with my car. My household income yearly is $60,000. I have $20,000 on credit card debt. I bought a 2023 Hyundai Elantra. Right now the private sale is 21 to 22K. I owe 22.5. How much is the monthly payment? Is $600. Yeah, I'm selling that. After planning my budget, I am even with my expenses, so no extra money to attack debts. Exactly. Your rent is way too big. Yeah, so yeah, you got to cut something, and probably the car is the easiest thing to cut. So, you might want to move down on the place you're renting as soon as you can. You might be in the middle of a lease, and so it wouldn't be financially prudent to get out of the lease early because to break lease fee. But what would Dave do? Probably sell the car. Bankruptcy to start. Baby steps. Individual Rub 6975 is the person that posted that. Come on, go away. Come on. I don't know why that does. There we go. From a Ramsey perspective, wouldn't filing for bankruptcy make sense if you're starting with the baby steps, since you won't be relying on a credit score or credit cards ever again? Interesting. I know this is morally wrong. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. So, but he's saying, theoretically, there's no other downside to it. In fact, it would keep you away from all credit cards. Even better, since they won't be an option for you at all. Well, at least for a while. Eventually, they'll come back around and say, yeah, we can make some more money off of this person. And they will give you another one. But yeah, it would not be advised by Dave to do that because of that whole moral thing. Blue Frank 34. Swapping baby step 2 and 3, and that would be a negative, good buddy. You're not. It doesn't say you can switch these if you want to. It doesn't say you can have more than $1,000 if you want to. See, the thing is, you can do whatever you want to do. You don't have to run it by Dave to see if it's okay first. If you don't want to follow his plan as is, you can do your own thing. It's fine. Because it's your money and your life. Speaking of, I'll be doing a commentary on an article in the Wall Street Journal about Dave that came out today. I'll be putting out a video for that later on tonight. And that basically addresses the same thing. It's people not wanting to do stuff that Dave recommends. And so you don't have to, like, you know, make a big stink about it or anything like that. And you don't have to get him to change his mind in order for you to do what you want to do. So, and that'll be part of it. There's other parts of it too, so, but I'll save those for that video. Thoughts on establishing savings prior to addressing debt? Your savings is $1,000 until that debt's paid off. Having savings to cover employment layoff, HVAC plan. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. And especially, I love the people that have never had over $1,000 in their life at any one time, and then all of a sudden they start the baby steps, and then all of a sudden they think about, oh, well, I got to have more money. How are you doing it before if you never had $1,000? And so, yeah, the idea is that you are not comfortable. You can't cover every emergency, and that's to motivate you to pay your debt off as fast as you can. Let's see. Prior to placing all the surplus in debt seems like the higher priority to me. Yeah. Understand you will incur interest during the savings period. Yeah. Okay. But having the safety net feels essential. No, it's not. My ex-wife and I didn't have more than $1,000 in savings. And we managed to pay off all debt. How about that? Let's go Tigers, 1997. And you know what? And again, if you want to have a higher emergency fund, do it. But don't tell people you're doing the Ramsey plan, because you're not. So that's all. You don't have to do it. It's a free country. Let's go Tigers, 1997. Am I saving enough monthly? Well, there's no law as to how much you should save. There's nothing in the baby steps about save this much per month. So let's see. Hey guys, made a burner. Don't like people knowing my finances. Okay, great. I'm 26. So you got a Reddit username that people know, that your friends know, maybe that kind of thing. And now you made the burner to do that one. Okay, great. Thanks for letting us know that. And I'm letting all my listeners do that, know that as well. I'm 26, a single male. Just want to know if I'm saving enough. Always been incredibly frugal, but I've made some big purchases lately. And does that mean dumb purchases as well? Let's see. I want to keep myself in line. So here's my monthly breakdown. Let's go to the film and see. Link to the new tab and go to the complete. There we go. Oh, it's War and Pete. No, it's not that bad. All right, so here's the monthly breakdown of this. $1,550 mortgage. What's the $90K salary? $90K salary. So that means that he can afford. That's mortgage? Okay, so that means 90 is 180 and 45. So that means a $225,000 mortgage. So at $1,550, that probably is under that amount. Probably if it's a 15. So again, we don't know unless he tells us later. So let's see, 715 car. You're selling the car is what you're doing. So no, you don't. Oh, and if you're paying off debt, you're not saving anything again, except let's go to it on this page as well. You save it. It says save $1,000, and then also save more every month. It doesn't say that. Save $1,000 as fast as possible. The next step is pay off all debts. There's no extra savings in there. It doesn't say to do that. So you're saving too much if you're saving anything after you get the $1,000. Otherwise, of course, you're doing it wrong. Alrighty. Just completed baby step 4 plus and baby step 7 advice. What does that mean? Well, you don't complete step 4. Again, that's investing 15% of your gross income into retirement. You do that forever, even on baby step 7. Even if you're retired, if you don't need the money for retirement and it's extra and you have extra every month, why not invest that? And you can use it for yourself, a couple years later. You will have the tax implications since you can't do a retirement account anymore, so you don't have tax advantage, so you'll be taxed on it in and out. And but why not do that? And that way you have more to leave your heirs at that point as well, even if you don't use it. 15% Roth contribution right to the 401k. Okay. Hopefully, I'm assuming that's a Roth 401k then. It's honestly a bittersweet thing, as I hate to see money go somewhere I can't touch for another 3 decades. Well, your 3 decades later self will say, oh, I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad 30-year younger me did that. That was pretty smart, because I have expenses now. Let's see, but it's for the future, right? Yeah, there you go. You're right. You're right. We went along the same way. I just didn't read it yet. Baby step 5, baby step 6 are all but complete. What does that mean, all but complete? So again, you're not done with step 4 ever. As long if you have extra money, you're not done ever. Baby step 5, baby step 6 are all but complete. Money is in the bank, just haven't pulled the trigger. Why not? So we really want to understand how I can implement baby step 7. Anybody have any tips specifically on baby step 7? You would build wealth and give a lot of it away, as it says right there. Build wealth and give. And so you know how you build wealth? Oh, look at that. Investing would be your highest builder there for that. And if you wanted to be a landlord, now's your time. Save enough to buy a realty property, a property for business location or a home, and then you can rent that out, or even condo, and then you can rent that out. So buy that with cash, so you can do that as well, but otherwise the market is going to be your best bet on that. And so you already know how to do that because you're doing it in your 401k. So as far as that, anything else you can do with money to make money, you can do that. And give, you just find people you want to give it to, or causes that you want to give it to. Baby step 7 would be the best step to be on, wouldn't it? Financing a dog, that's a no. Don't even have to read it. Investments following the Ramsey plan. What index/EFTs do you invest in? Well, you can get index funds that basically match the 4 different things that Dave categories that Dave recommends, and that would be the most common terms for those are large cap, mid cap, small cap, and international. And of course, for example, small cap he calls aggressive growth, and that may be what most people called them back in the day, but again, most people now use the caps, and that's no cap. But managed funds can beat the index, and you don't have to search a long time to find some that do. So that's what the recommendation is on that. Let's see, 16 people responded. Maybe some of them told him some good index funds to invest in. Credit score difference, Fancy Barber, 3069, excuse me. 823 Experian MasterCard, 786 TransUnion Discover. One of them doesn't know about one of the debts, and I could go either way. So and I don't know what the difference would be with those. why it would be a credit card core difference. Google it, maybe. What's up 2024? I don't know what to do. All right. I wonder if the baby steps could tell you what to do there. What up, Maddie Badge? Badge? Maddie Bags. Hashtag mention. Messed up your name. I'm sorry about that. That's not his real name. Hi there. I turned 18 2 weeks ago. A baby. Still a baby. I also finished high school 1 week ago. Excellent. Just got a part-time job. Excellent. That pays me $40K a year for 25 hours a week. 25 hours a week of work. I mean, that's not bad for 25 hours. So find another part-time job and work more. Have a $7K car. 15K in my bank account, and if you're wondering how, I was a referee for 3 years of hockey. Okay, great. And I play hockey completely, and that cost about 20 to 30K a year. My parents helped me out with that, okay? On my 18th birthday, my parents gave me a credit score. Credit card, maybe. Maybe his phone filled that in. Which was mine. They gave you a credit card, which was mine. If they gave it to you, they gave you one on their account. They could not, I mean, if they opened a credit card with your name, then without your knowledge, that's actually illegal to do that. Let's see, and I have a 780 credit score. Okay, we don't care about that. In Ramsey world, though, just give a little background. I barely spend money for McDonald's. Okay, so if you're going to college, basically, I mean, the idea for teenagers, the baby steps for teenagers is basically just you save all your money until you graduate college debt-free, or maybe you want to go to trade school. Or if you're not doing any of that, then you would save money to move out. So it doesn't say if there's any debt. Let's find out if there's debt for the 18-year-old. The credit card, I don't know what the credit card. Let's see if there's. I had a credit card since I was 14. I have 2 questions. Should I get a credit card simply because I can control myself and also build wealth? Yeah, you've been able to since you've been 14. So for 4 years, you've been able to while you were living with your parents, I'm assuming. Guess what? When you get out in the real world, you might not control yourself, as you said. So you don't know that. Up to you. If your parents are, fine with it. I mean, I guess you're 18. It doesn't matter if they're fine with it even. You can get one if you want to try it out. But I don't know. So that's some financial advisor's advice too. Use credit cards if you can handle them. How do you know? So by putting yourself through that human experiment, you are wasting time and money. So why just not have it because you don't need it? I'm constantly thinking of money in my mind 12 hours through the day. Well, I wouldn't do that. It is, how can I get money? What can I do to get $500? You have $15K in your bank account. And I feel like work is very go through the motions where I don't want to do that. Okay, well, think of an idea and start your own business at the speed of cash. You can do that. And then you won't have to be a go through the motions guy. That would be great. If YouTube was around when I was a kid, maybe I would have done that and never had to do any other work. Wouldn't that have been fabulous? And I feel like we're born too early, though. I feel like I'd rather run and find the money rather than just have a nice walk. I know this is weird, but is this normal or okay? If it's not, then do I have a problem? And second, if it isn't, what can I go do? You seem like you might be an overthinker. I'm one myself. So you got to think about other stuff than money, though. So, but I mean, you can think of, instead of thinking about money, think of ideas that you can do, like different jobs you can do, or business, a small business that you can set up in your parents' garage, maybe. But also think about moving out, because Dave thinks a 18-year-old thinks adults should live on their own. Now, I'm not throwing you out of your parents' house, but that would be why you just save money and you don't spend a bunch of it. And so, and think about college if you haven't before. So I don't know if this person's planning to try to go to college or trade school or anything like that. But again, for teenagers, the advice is to just save money, and you're not really doing investing or anything like that. You're just saving up money until you get out of college debt free and until you get out of or trade school and move out of your parents and on your own. So, because you'll need money to do all that. And so that would be the advice. Educational reveal 792. Slight deviation from the baby step. Just curious what others think. They spelled it wrong. I've read and listened to a lot of Dave's advice, and I've read through Boggleheads. That's a financial website, I think. They may do videos as well. Investment advice, but I'm fairly new to this. Reading through the baby steps on this, I feel like I've hit most. For me, I've hit most of the marks with some minor adjustments, but wanted to get some thoughts from the sub. Baby step 2, we carry very little debt, but I don't keep it at 0. Well, you're doing it wrong. You're doing baby step 2 wrong. So, my wife hit a deer at the end of 2022, totaling her 7-year-old base model's Scion XD. Nice details. We splurged on a brand new Highlander hybrid, so you're doing everything wrong. It's fine, but you're doing everything wrong. From a baby steps perspective, so, I mean, why deviate from the baby steps? Why don't you just do what you want to do? Let's see. Also make use of 0% credit card offers for big projects around the house. Yep, we budget to pay them off before the promo APR expires. Yep, that's fine until you can't do that. Until you don't pay them off. And then again, you get, 26% interest. It happens to people every day. I never do this with more than one project at a time, and we have money to pay the project in cash. So far, yeah, you have. I just keep it in a high yield savings account instead. All right. Baby step 3, what about it? Wife and I have a level of job stability. Most people don't. And like 10 years, okay. So then 3 is fine, but if you're wanting to buy a house, I would have 6 months. So because of that, we've never kept more than 2 months of saving. Well, again, you can do what you want to do. You don't have to run it through the baby steps or Dave Ramsey or a subreddit even. But since you put it here, giving me content, I will gladly comment on it. How do you adjust this to your account for your pension? Baby step 4, pension is worth half. So 15% of your gross income, whatever percent of your money is going into pension, you divide it by 2. So if you have 15% of your money going into pension, then that would only count for 7.5% of the 15 that you're supposed to put in. And so you would do other investing for 7.5%. Boom, boom, boom. Looking pension payouts of 60% of whatever the average of our highest 3 years of pay are. All right. And again, yeah, that's not going to be, I think they're young. How are they? They don't say how old they are. All right, baby step 5. First and only kid is on the way. Congratulations. Found on August. 529 plan already. 500 to 20,000 in there before they are 5, so it can have time to build on itself. this also, again, like I said before, let me get them up here. Baby steps. There they are. Steps 1, 2, and 3 you do in order, one at a time. So you don't try to do, this person is trying to do all of the baby steps at the same time. So, and that's not advised. So, but I mean, it seems like other than the credit card debt, and the 2% interest on the new car, so they still have debt. So you're in baby step 2, so you don't do all this other stuff yet. So you're doing it wrong. Let's see if I have anything else to nitpick here, other than they're just doing it wrong. Which, again, keep saying it, it's fine. You can do it your own way, but why run it by anybody if you want to do it your own way? I don't get it. You know, there's a proven plan right here. Millions of documented success stories right here. And you're going to let Reddit people say something about it? You know, you're going to let them help you decide? So, I know a lot of people do. A lot of people called the Ramsey show, and a lot of people put stuff in here and other forums, just so they get somebody that says, yeah, everything you're doing is good. You're all right. So that's what happens a lot. I don't know if this person wanted that or not. I would not assume to be 100% sure about anything regarding somebody else's life. Our first and only kid is on the way. We found out in August. Oh, I did that one already. What? Baby step 6. 92K left on mortgage, okay, and so you wouldn't be investing more than the 15%, but it does. If you're just doing pension right now, you're not. That's not going to be enough. Let's see, payment 95 on a 30-year. So again, you did that wrong. Could have done that before you ever heard the name Ramsey, though. So $30 extra. Yeah, it doesn't impact our daily life. I hope $30 extra a week does not impact your day-to-day life. I hope, certainly. For anyone, I hope that doesn't. Ensures the house will be paid off at 55. Yeah, so to stretch that out, you're paying a lot of interest, and that's not what advised. Baby step 6 is pay off your house early, not at 55 when I'm ready to retire. And 3% interest rate, I don't see a point to pay it off faster. So none of the, you don't want to do any of the baby steps. So why run your life through them? You don't want to do any of them the way Dave suggests. So I don't get it. Income. So they make $200,000 a year. So I mean, they're probably not having a problem. But the whole thing about $2,000, and the problem is, well, we'll buy a brand new car. You know, and then we'll buy this, and then we'll buy that, and then we'll, oh, we have a baby on the way now. I guess we need a much bigger house and do that. And then before you know, it's out of your control. So let's see, yield savings, see if there's anything else I want to do. So you're in investing already. So 40,000 in a brokerage account, and I mean, he's just looking at the interest per interest. So there's no risk button on the calculator apparently. Let's see, total retirement 150K. They still didn't say their ages, so all right. He just wants somebody. How many? 64 comments. So maybe somebody told him, "You're doing all right." But again, why bother trying to compare it to the baby steps? If you are doing what you want to do and you don't want to change what you're going to do, that's the biggest thing. Why even ask? Advice for car issue. I know nothing about cars. Me too. I'm on baby step 2, working on debt. Took my Kia Soul. Excellent. And to get the theft prevention device installed this morning. They said it was time for maintenance. Of course they did. That's why they like you to come in for stuff like that. Hey, we'll give you a theft prevention device. How about that? And so, oh, hey, guess what? While we were looking at it, yeah. I said, okay, but then afterwards they came and told me my brakes were down, dude. Yep. Yep. And so at that point, when they say it's time for maintenance first, and then you say, okay, and then they find more stuff, at that point, I would probably say, all right, I'm going to leave. I'll take it. I'm going to take it somewhere else to get another opinion on that and just verify that, because that's an awful coincidence that you needed that much. It was time for maintenance and that you needed new brakes, and that very well could be true. But if it could, I mean, car dealerships and other businesses as well, not just not dealerships, but yeah, it probably was the dealership. So dealerships, and mechanics, and any number of other businesses do make up stuff so they can charge you. Let's see, so they need to be replaced, and this would cost $2,000. I agreed to it, stupidly thinking, I guess, have no choice, right, but to put it on a credit card, then, yeah, see, that's what the dealio does. So what other, is there still a problem with it after you got it back? I looked to see if it was a reasonable price, and it was not. Got a quote for the parts, like $500, and we kick to mechanic to get put on and just pay labor. Yeah, I called Kia back, and they had already started. Of course they did, because you told them okay. And take it apart the axle, so we agreed to just do the front for like a total of yep, and you put it on a credit card, so that compounds the problem. So yeah, always get a second opinion on everything, and just be wary if the dealership is having you come in to get something free installed. Just realize you might not be getting out of there free. I mean, and you know what you can do before you take it to get that installed? You could take, it sounds like you know a mechanic to get that put on. Or even if you don't, you could take it to a mechanic ahead of time before you go to the dealership. That way you would know if they were fronting on that, if they were capping on that. That means lying. And intelligent mix, 30/80, 15% to 401k. Baby step 4 is invest 15% of household income into retirement, but does that count employer matches? It does not. Employer match is gravy on the biscuit. That means extra. My employer gives 3% automatically, then matches 6%. If I put in 6%, that's 15% of my income, technically. Should I be putting 15%, or should I be doing what I need to get 15%? Yes. So you put 15% of your money, and then if they match it, then you can have that. Oh, the match is 6%. Okay. So yeah, all the matches is extra. So you put 15 out of your pocket, and then you get 9 apparently as match, and so that's awesome. But yeah, Dave wants you to have 15% of skin in the game. Reworking investment portfolio by TY758. I've been working on reorganizing the way my Roth IRA is set up, and the current plan is to put 25% of my portfolio into each of the following funds. All right. But why is this one? Why is that one? He must really like that one. That one's bolded. All right. Why is it? It's in quotes, funds. All those are mutual funds. Some of them index, looks like. Yeah, some of them are index. Yeah. Chose the fund based on the 10-year average return rate, which that's what you need, at least 10 years. Oh, I see. So this is the growth in income, aggressive growth in international, right? Oberweis micro cap, and so that's a foreign one. Aggressive growth, so that is small cap, and the international course is international. Growth in income, I believe that's mid, and the growth is large cap, I believe. Let's see, and also the ones that had a low minimum investment. Okay, does this capture the spirit of Ramsey's investment plan? Yeah, except he would tell you that there are managed funds that beat the index. And so look for some of those that beat the index and make more money. This long-term portfolio open to suggestions, 20 years old. Okay, so, and here's the thing as well. So you're not married to these funds that you put in there. Like I found 3 different large cap funds because they were better and switched to them. But since then, since I found them, they've all taken turns being the best, so I just keep all of them. So no need to get away from them because they're doing the best out of any of my funds. Those 3 are the top 3. Let's see. So the suggestions would be to not do index funds and to find managed funds that do better. Key_jump 9013. Which credit card to pay? Husband and I have a line of credit, 2 credit cards, a personal loan, and a car loan for our debts. Due to loss of income last year, we stopped paying the minimums on the line of credit and credit card number 1 so we could pay rent. We now have a stable income and are getting a tax refund in a few weeks. Credit card number 1 is about to be charged off due to inactivity for 6 months. Okay. The minimum payment on it is now over $1,100. Okay, so it's about to be charged off, so that means it'll be going into collections. So charged off would mean it's not going to be current debt anymore. And so the advice is to pay off current debt first and then go get a clamp for your chair. And then after that, then once you're done with all your current debt, then you can go back and settle collections debt. So that would be the advice on that. But if you can pay it off before it gets charged off, do that. But if you can't pay it off, if you can only pay a little bit on it, there's probably no need to pay a little bit on it. But yeah, inactivity on six months is a long time. They don't like you to not be using it for 6 months, or especially paying on it. Kit Kat 552, land loan, which baby step? That would be none. That is not advised. Because you buy the land and then it sits there while you save up money to build a house on it, or you get a different loan for the building, or the land loan becomes a mortgage and that's for the building, but they separate each other in different cities. All right. I don't know if the land loan keeps us in baby step 2 or counts as a mortgage. I don't know either. Oh, okay, so the mortgage is a different house in a different city. Okay, so what's the land for them? Paying off the student loan first, that's great. And then we have the land loan and the mortgage. So the land, sell the land. Why do you need the land? Let's see why they want the land. They're separate from each other in different cities. I don't know if the land loan keeps them baby step 2 or counts as mortgage. It's a $50K loan with 12% interest. So obviously we want to pay it off fast, but I'm not sure if we need to pause our investing and fully funded emergency fund for it. It's basically 2 acres of property next to my parents. And even though we're not planning to move there anytime soon, we want to keep it for future options. Any advice would be appreciated. Thanks. So you can't do everything all at once, and this would probably not be advised. But as far as that, since you're not living in it, it is a toy. So it is baby step 2 then. So put it in baby step 2, pay it off as fast as you can. Or sell it, better yet. We made it, boys. All right, traditional excuse 46. Been a watcher of Dave Ramsey for a while now. Even though we don't agree eye to eye on credit, okay? I do believe his advice is sound for those unable to control their spending habits and go on splurges. Forgot the L there. But see, what you don't understand is Dave's advice works for everybody. You don't have to be able to control your spending habits on a credit card. I mean, even if you are able to do that, you can still do his advice and be very successful with it. So it does work for everybody. People just think by using credit, they're getting over on the banks. You're not. You're really not. Let's see, made it to MSM. I don't know what that means. Mainstream millionaire? I don't know what that means. Was on the pages of Google News. Oh, interesting. Anyway, this is totally the Gen Y Z way of doing things. At least many of our Gen X. Okay. So they're just saying they just want to tout their own horn. So you made a million net worth. That's great. Congratulations. Just wanted they wanted some love, probably. Getting jiggy wit get. Interesting. Hi. It's me. Hi. After baby step 6, how much do you pay monthly for your home? No. Oh, I'm assuming you still pay insurance, taxes, utilities. Yeah. What else am I missing? How much money is that actually? Yeah, wildly depends on the size. Exactly. So you can't tell. Don't own a house yet. It might be a dumb question to everyone else. Just curious the average amount. I don't know. It depends on how much the insurance is in their area, how much they're insuring. Taxes, again, depends on area. And utilities depend on how big the house is. It takes more to heat and cool a much bigger house, and so all that depends. So that's the kind of thing you worry about before you buy a house, that you don't need to worry about. When you get ready to buy a house, you check those for your size house and in your area. Then you can check those things. But until then, that's something an overthinker would do, and you don't need to think about it yet. All right, we'll do a couple more. And then we'll call it a show. Be doing this again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time again. Saturdays and Sundays. Scream A4 credit card help. 30 mail. Hi everyone. Should I be throwing my savings at my credit card debt? Yes. All except $1,000. These are the baby steps. You're on the subreddit named after the guy that made this advice. So let's see. So yes, the answer is yeah. I feel pretty nervous about trying to do this as I'm dealing with the medical issues, left labrum tear and lumbar herniation. Might need surgery. That may jeopardize my future. Credit card. Your debt is going to also jeopardize your future as well. And so it just depends on whether you pause the baby steps if there's a 50% chance that you're going to need the surgery, and then you would be just putting minimums on there and piling up cash. So it depends on, I would consult a doctor on that. Next time you see a doctor, ask him or her about that. Canadian here, Baby step 5 questions. RESP max. Okay. Of note to Americans, thank you so much. Canada offers a RESP with a maximum lifetime contribution of $50,000 per child. It grows from that point, and any over contributions get penalized / taxed. Okay. I'm not able to open a TFSA, roughly equivalent to a Roth IRA, I think, on behalf of my kid either, right? Okay, with that out of the way, my daughter's grandparents have very generously taken ownership of her education savings and have already maxed out contributions. Great. Daughter is 8. Is there another investment vehicle that I can use for her benefit? Worst comes to worst case, if you can't find any other tax advantage thing to put it in for her, then you could do, if you don't have any things that like are maybe the RESP is what you're talking about, and you said that's already maxed. So how much? $50,000, and then it grows from that point. And so that's maxed already. So I would chill a little bit and maybe do some of your baby steps if you haven't done those already. I would chill a little bit with 8 years old. But you could do just a brokerage account instead. Alrighty. I think we'll call it a day there. We'll get started tomorrow with car loan, if they're in the right order. When I sort by new and scroll down again, we'll see if it is. Alrighty. So once again, I will be here tomorrow, Saturdays and Sundays, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And this Monday, Ramsey Show After Show will be at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, right after the Ramsey Show video on YouTube ends. Once more, thank you for the 3,000 watch hours in the past year. And that does allow me to do baby monetization. 4,000 for the real thing, and I will get there. And once more, I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. That's a video conferencing appointment, so you can do that from anywhere in the whole wide world. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel at coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. You can also send Cash App, $ Coach Steve Money, or a Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. You can have me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Of course, the YouTube channel is youtube.com/coachstevemoney. Thank you so much for watching.